So, this is the second part to my ranking of every animatronic in Five Nights at Freddy's. If you haven't seen the first part and want to hear my arguments for each one from FNAF 1 to FNAF 4, go watch that one first. There's probably a card in the corner to click on, otherwise, I don't know. You can probably figure it out, right? Can't be that hard. Anyways, here's the list so far. And, as expected, you guys hated it. There were a lot of disagreements, like apparently people like Springtrap. My guess is they lost their frontal lobe at some point. Well, today my goal is to be objectively correct. Since we're going through FNAF's sister location, Pizzeria Simulator, and Security Breach, I know I'll have some really good ones, and also the worst animatronic in FNAF history. For those of you who think I'm forgetting someone, let me reiterate that there will be no FNAF AR, VR, or World on this list. Glitchtrap is not an animatronic, neither is Vanny. I'm not going to rank Candy Cadet, and we do not have a real design for Glamrock Bonnie yet. Now, I gotta list all 36 of the remaining animatronics for today. We have Circus Baby, Ballora, Funtime Freddy, Bon Bon, Bonnet, Funtime Foxy, Biddy Babs, Electro Bab, Mini Arenas, Ennard, Lulbit, Yendo, Scrap Baby, Scrap Trap, Molten Freddy, Lefty, Rockstar Freddy, Rockstar Bonnie, Rockstar Chica, Rockstar Foxy, L-Chip, Funtime Chica, Music Man, Ned Bear, Mr. Hippo, Happy Frog, Pig Patch, Orville, Helpy DD, Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Chica, Montgomery Gator, Roxanne Wolf, Staff Bots, Sun Drop, Moon Drop, The Blob, and Burn Trap. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, we better figure out which animatronics are my little superstar and which ones I would like to hit with my silly, stupid car. Alright, here's the clown lady we all know and love. The initial teaser for Sister Location was such a creepy glimpse at one of the creepiest animatronics to date. Also, let me just say that Sister Location is probably one of the best FNAF games we ever got, and I really wish we got some sort of sequel to it. The gameplay was so unique compared to every other game in the franchise, so it's really sad we only got this one. I also think the animatronics are pretty cool as well. The moving faceplates are really creepy on their own, but the endoskeleton that gets revealed underneath that is equally horrifying. There are some studs and some duds in the mix here, but I'm happy to say that Baby is definitely a stud. She's the first animatronic to ever talk to you. That voice is so perfect. And while she never really antagonizes you in this game, she doesn't necessarily need to be scary to be cool. Again, those faceplates only add to the creepiness. And we all know people hate clowns. I do keep going back to that idea though. She should have been more threatening. I never was scared by her. I know I said you don't have to be scary to be cool, which is true, but you do need to be scary for me to put you in S tier. You are creepy, I'll give you that. And I'll also give you A tier. Let's move on. Oh, Ballora. What a stupid, stupid name you have. I remember saying in the first video that we never got any animatronics in a human form after Balloon Boy, but I completely forgot about this game. Ballora has some crazy uncanny valley going on, which is no doubt intentional. Everybody's out here crying about clowns, meanwhile ballerinas are twirling in the shadows waiting to strike. Why is a ballerina scary? I don't know, but Ballora is. Her endoskeleton is absolutely terrifying. Can I put Ballora in S tier? I don't even like her, but I'm compelling myself with my own argument here. Alright, S tier it is. People have definitely clicked off this video by now, holy moly. Alright, well, here's a classic. We've got Funtime Freddy, who has some of the scariest moments in the game. The first time you see him, he lurks in the shadows, only visible for seconds at a time as the lights flicker on and off. Then we have to open this bad boy up and do some maintenance on his big old belly. It's an amazing idea, which is done even better in the VR game. Anyways, Funtime Freddy is fun, he is cool, but he isn't that special. I will say A tier. So Bon Bon is also in that maintenance minigame, but he really isn't scary. I like the idea of Bon Bon a lot though, and it was probably a nice way to get Bonnie into this game without having to make a whole Funtime Bonnie. Anyways, I love him, but he's boring compared to the rest. C tier. I hate you, Bonnet. Get the heck out of here. Get out. Oh, gross. Oh, D tier, obviously. Well, your mangled form is an S tier, so how do I like the unmangled Mango? I must say, it was really cool to see payoff for Mango. We always just had to assume she was Toy Foxy at some point. Clearly though, she was different, and we got to see how different she was in this game. Her theming is perfect alongside Funtime Freddy, but she's definitely the least scary main animatronic of the group. I definitely like you better with two heads, but one is okay, I guess. For that, I say B tier. And you better not be holding someone's hand on the ranking board. I'm sorry, you said your name was Biddy Bab? Did your parents hate you? Was Scott Cawthon making silly noises with his fingers on his lips, accidentally stumble on the most popular baby name of 2019? Alright, enough with the cyberbullying. Biddy Bab is a widow baby that has an uncanny valley going on with it. The teeth and forehead are somehow funny and scary, but not that scary. You, my bald little friends, will go in C tier. Okay, who let Electro Bab in here? Genuinely, you're probably wondering why I'm even ranking this thing. It's only slightly different than Biddy Bab. Well, it does have its own name, and we did rank JJ and Bonnet, so I think it's fair. You know what else is fair? Putting it in D tier, of course.
Oh, don't be sad. Wait, does Baby not know about you? Ow! Ow! Ah!
Mini arenas are basically baby puppets who also do ballet. Wow, and I thought Ballora was scary. Generally, the little eyes that appear in their empty eye sockets are super creepy. I argue they are equally scary as Ballora, but they are just mini arenas, you know? They can't just go in S, I'm sorry. I don't even think I'm willing to do A, so B it is then. And no, I am not ranking Mini Arena 2, which apparently is its own animatronic. Look it up. I draw the line at the sequel to a character who is introduced in the same game. Now, if there's a Mini Arena 3, you might pique my interest, but I hate you, Mini Arena 2. Alright, we got entered. The amalgamation of all the animatronics in Sister Location that wear your empty skin suit as a human disguise. Don't you get it? His name sounds like innards. Don't you get it? Oh, you already got that? Well, fine then. Where do you want to rank them? What's that? He's got a clown vibe, but also has a super creepy posture and endoskeleton? And you say that his wiry body's a creepy and silly clown face, and party hat are a fun juxtaposition to that? Well, that's crazy because that's exactly what I was thinking. We would get along so well. Too bad Ennard stole my skin. Anyways, I totally agree. It's a goofy yet scary look. I quite like it. I want him in S tier. We're about to suss out all the fake FNAF fans today. Do you know who this is? No, it's obviously not just an Orange Funtime Foxy, you stupid idiot. It's Lolbit. It's not ridiculous. It's not like if you look up Lolbit, the first question that pops up is, why does Lolbit exist? Isn't it obvious? Lolbit is the sister in Sister Location. It's her location, and she's Funtime Foxy's sister. You're not buying it? Fine. I still like the orange as much as the pink, honestly, so I'm saying B tier. You don't know who Yendo is either? Geez, just wait until Pizza Simulator, you're gonna be lost. Let's learn something together, shall we? I looked up why his name was Yendo because I get that it's combining yellow and endo, but I don't really know why it's doing that. Because most of him is not yellow. People believe he is the endoskeleton of Funtime Fredbear, or at least is related to Fredbear in some way, who is yellow. While it seems like a stretch, his behavior is similar to Golden Freddy, so now that we understand a bit more about him, we can be confident when placing this A-posing, skinless loser in D tier. Well, that was Sister Location. It was a pretty long section, but definitely had some really cool and really dumb animatronics in it. They're scattered across the board here. I'm going to split up FNAF 6 in half, since we got a lot of random nobodies to rank. Let's get started. Wow, baby, back so soon? Looking creepier than ever as well. Pizzeria Simulator did an amazing job of making her the scariest animatronic of that game. We knew literally nothing about FNAF 6, and then one day we got what seemed to be a little minigame where Freddy throws pizzas at kids. The game glitches, fades to black, and we are left sitting in front of the Crab Clown Queen herself. I always thought the claw was weird and dumb, but I looked it up, and it's actually the claw she used to kill kids. That's actually really cool now. I think her design is awesome. If I didn't know that, she would have been an A, but that's definitely S material. Molten Freddy's what remains of Ennard without Baby. I definitely think he's creepy with a single glowing eye and the mess of wires he drags behind him as he crawls towards you. Just that alone, the fact that he has to slowly pull himself towards you with his hands to get to you. That's amazing. I didn't realize that before, but he's got to be an S as well. And now, for the worst animatronic in FNAF history, Scrap Trap. And you thought I disliked Springtrap. I could literally talk for 3 hours about how much I despise Scrap Trap, so I'll cut it down to only 2.5 hours, just for you. You're welcome. I already didn't like how Springtrap looked, and apparently Scott didn't like it either because it's clearly not that same suit. Let me ask you something. Did the skeleton of William Afton, who is spring-locked into the Springtrap suit, climb out of that suit, find a fairly similar yet more ugly and torn apart Springtrap suit, and decide to make a new home? Am I expected to believe that William Afton has the tendencies of a hermit crab? And if so, why would he choose the ugliest looking suit ever? Why is the forehead a 7 head? Why are the eye holes bigger? Why does he have buck teeth now? I did say I wish you could see more of the person sticking out of the original Springtrap suit, but this is not what I meant. His eyes are less lifelike, the whole head is just this stupid bald skeleton, the whole body somehow has more organs than before, which I didn't think is possible. I guess the whole series isn't really possible per se, but we have to have lines here. Scraptrap crosses so many lines. If I were to TLDR this, I'd just say he's ugly. Not in a scary way, not in a fun way, just in a depressing, stupid, badly designed, stupid way. There's a whole tier dedicated to you, Scraptrap. The darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. Lefty looks pretty cool. A tier. We're into the Rockstar animatronics, which means we have now seen all of the antagonistic animatronics in FNAF 6. Yep, that's right, there are 4 animatronics that can kill you, and we still have 13 animatronics to go through. Whoopee! I honestly don't dislike the Rockstar designs, well, except Freddy and Bonnie. But 50%, that's pretty good, right? Freddy's just a more boring version between classic Freddy and Toy Freddy. The main thing that's different here is the star, which every other Rockstar has. Get it? Good. C tier. Just really bland. I have the same opinion of Rockstar Bonnie, so instead of reiterating myself, here's a picture of Rockstar Bonnie with Terry from Smash's legs. The person that made this has no doubt murdered multiple people, and I'm terrified of this person. Also, Rockstar Bonnie gets C tier. Oh yeah, let's rock! I love the bib, and I actually think the blue accent color works really well for her. She has no cupcakes, but her instrument is the maracas. That's amazing. How can you not love this one? Solid A. Finally, the parrot is born. Otherwise, he kind of looks more like a dog than a fox on this one. I'd give the parrot an S tier, but they're kind of a package deal. I like the accordion. Alright, fine, B tier. I'm very happy that Scott got to include Chipper in the FNAF series. I'm not going to explain his backstory since most of you probably already know it. It's just a fun reference, and I like that he's a Mexican restaurant mascot. There definitely should be a Chipster location game someday. I do love him. How about A tier? And that's the first half. The Rockstars were a bit of a slog, but we'll have a pretty fun grab bag of random characters for the second section. Let's get to it. Funtime Chica would have been all fine and dandy if she was only in FNAF 6. Her design fits well with the others, although I really do not like the cupcake, looks unfinished. But she made a return in Ultimate Custom Night and fed the flames more creepy FNAF fan art. Like, this is in the game. Gross, D tier.
Don't get distracted.
I'm only going to rank Music Man once, so we might as well look at each iteration. And yes, I apologize, I'm realizing now that's a really bad idea, but I'm sticking to it, okay? The first one is fine. He's a weird little Spider-Man with symbols that actually looks like he belongs in a sister location. And he's pretty bland until you see DJ Music Man. Not only is he gigantic, but he's got headphones, music teeth, and more hands to move around. I think DJ Music Man might be one of my favorite FNAF designs ever. Having a giant animatronic is just really fun, and if it happened often, it would get stale. But that's the thing, he's the only one. It's incredible, and he just looks really fun. There's also that little one in the vents, but no one cares. That's BS, the DJ is just too good. There's something about Ned Bear. He seems like a real go-getter. I like his hat, I love his tie, but he is forever doomed to just be Ned Bear, so B tier, buddy. I'm sorry, but if you don't like Mr. Hippo, then I don't like you. But Mr. Hippo still does, he loves everybody. Let's all gather around the fire and listen to one of his classic stories.
It seems that you
Alright, shut up, A tier. While I do like the idea of Frog Animatronic, I do not like the execution of Happy Frog. The whole face just feels wrong, and what kind of frog has an alien antenna? None, that's what. C tier, little froggy. I do think Pig Patch is a fun one, especially with the Christian eyes, but how can we be satisfied with plain old Pig Patch when we know that Pork Patch is out there somewhere just waiting for us? Let me know if you want me to rank the FNAF World characters, by the way. Anyways, B tier. Elephant-tronic? Everyone knows elephants are the superior beings, and he's Mr. Hippo's best friend, so you gotta give him props. He's also a magician, apparently, so I like that. I mean, come on, who are we kidding here? Overall's an S tier. I'm not completely sure if Helpy should count. I don't think he actually exists. I guess the Animatronics don't technically exist either. Well, anyways, it's kind of like if Funtime Freddy was a baby. I don't know, he's kind of cute in a way. I certainly like buff Helpy, who doesn't? So I'll just say B tier, I guess, middle of the road. Why, DD? I thought we were past the Balloon Boys. You don't need to exist. Now, although I realize this is the whole point of her existence, she is so unbelievably annoying in Ultimate Custom Night. Her voice lines haunt my nightmares. I'm done with you. Go in DD tier now.
We'll add a new problem to your night.
Well, this is it, folks. FNAF Security Breach is the last game to cover. It's really sad. I've loved making these lists. I have some ideas for other lists I could do for FNAF, and I'll talk about that at the end, so stick around if you want to hear what I have in mind. Alright, let's do this! Security Breach is probably my least favorite of every FNAF game, including World. I think the concept is too far from what FNAF should be. It has so many good elements, the mall is incredibly well made, the animatronics have some really awesome designs, and the graphic and scope are bigger and better than ever. But it isn't scary. At all. The story is boring, the main villain has absolutely no screen time, but luckily we're not ranking the games, we're ranking the animatronics. And who do you think we're starting out with? No Glamrock Freddy, you're my superstar. I really like this guy, and I know the internet does as well. I think he has the perfect voice, and it's really fun to have an animatronic to wear as a mech suit throughout the game. The blue and red colors are pretty nice, but he also just feels a little lackluster. Like, just one element missing. I don't know what. He's good, but I don't feel right giving an S. I'll say A. Also, your head's too small, weirdo. See, I don't think they miss any elements on Glamrock Chica. She's got the whole jazzercise attire going on, with the leg warmers, the unitard, and the bow and earrings. I'm glad they didn't hold back on this one. It's great. It's definitely a little weird that Chica is no longer yellow, but we can live with it. Generally, I think they nailed this one. I'll give her an S. Gatormatronics are like second in awesomeness, only being beat out by Elephantronics. Get a load of that mohawk. Look at those shades. Check out that green and purple color scheme. I honestly welcome them to the roster. Bunnies were getting stale. I got no complaints, put them in S. Look, I'm not a furry, or at least I wasn't until I met Roxanne Wolf. Her outfit is pretty cool and I like her style, but I really dislike the design of her face. I'm not really sure why either. Her hair too is just kind of weird, almost out of place. And I miss Foxy. Everyone loves Foxy, so it's kind of messed up to replace him. We got the parrot for like one game, people. Count them, one. You know, now that I think about it, I think she morphed that parrot in that single green strand of hair she has. Let him out, you fiend! I want him back! He's supposed to be an S. Well, she's clearly not going to be. I'll say C. It's impressive that the staff bots are actually more annoying than DD. I have to believe they realized at some point that it's going to be too easy just to move around the mall without getting caught, so they said, how about we fill every square inch of the map with staff bots? The only one I like is MapBot, he'd be S. But it makes no sense to rank them separately.
Hi, please take this map. Take a map.
One final note though, the scary staff bots in the garbage area are quite terrifying and are the best way of showing how boring character design can be well contrasted with these spooky ones. Like generally I have to give them props for these guys, but I can't go higher than a C tier still. So Sun and Moon are kind of the same animatronic and I think I like them equally, so I might as well rank them together. The whole concept of a Sun and Moon animatronic works extremely well. We need someone to watch the kids. There should be a daytime and nighttime mode. And the face doesn't even change, the spikes of the sun just retract and they put a hat on there. It's genius. Whoever thought of this is genuinely really creative. Their whole attire and personalities are just perfect. I can't really go much more in depth than that. S tier, of course. Again, kind of unsure if this counts, but I like the blob, so I don't want to leave him out. It's kind of like the most extreme version of Molten Freddy. This entity of animatronic parts that I've combined into one, with crazy long appendages and a scary Freddy head. It's also pretty big, so that's fun. I think the game did a bad job explaining just how scary the blob should be, but the Living Tombstones music video This Comes From Inside creates an amazing feeling for seeing the blob for the first time. You just stare at it in awe, horrified, taking in the implications of what the blob actually is. All these dead kids trapped in this amalgamation that's been buried underground. What a crazy idea. So even though Security Breach doesn't deserve it, I'm giving out yet another S tier to the blob. It's kinda crazy how perfect it is done with Burn Trap. I've hated both of the other designs Afton has had so far. So what do I think of this one? Well, he once again has changed outfits. He's regained an arm somehow, his head is healed, and his proportions are different. But I guess we've now established that that is possible with Scrap Trap, and the design is undoubtedly better than that one. It's also pretty fun to get that purple color in there, finally making the purple guy a reality. And those teeth, pretty creepy, man. I really have to say, that cutscene of him coming out for the first time is pretty awesome. The fight's pretty dumb, but still, I'm mostly just annoyed that they threw him in just to make Dako do a funny scream and get the YouTube clicks. Like, it's pure fan service. I get he always comes back, but how literally is that gonna be? I feel bad because he is cool, but I don't want him an S. He just doesn't deserve it. But A tier is still pretty impressive considering his brothers are at the bottom. That's it. Wow, I can't believe it. I think I might have butchered the second half even more than the first, honestly. I can't imagine anyone agreeing with me, even slightly. But this is a list that is super biased. Like after the 6th version of Freddy, it's hard to go on to give out more S tiers. But I do feel like I gave some pretty high rankings for these guys, which probably isn't great, considering I put like original Freddy and Foxy in A. But who cares, right? If you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments. I love FNAF and all the animatronics. If you enjoy this list, I'm thinking I can make a few more FNAF ones down the line. There are a ton of bosses and enemies in FNAF World we could go through. FNAF AR has a bunch of crazy skins that I'm itching to rank. I might just do that one anyways. I think it might be a lot of fun. Otherwise, there's fan games, music videos, Rule 34 threads, the list is pretty much endless, so let me know if you want to see any more. And thank you so much for watching, it means a lot. I will see you soon, goodbye. One final note though, the scary staff bots in the garbage area are quite terrifying. One final note though, the scary staff bots in the